Hello, everybody. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another one of our live streams. Tyrone was saying naughty words, guys, before we got live, but that's okay. We're all here. Welcome, everyone, to the stream. Welcome. And I hope you guys
everybody.
are having a good Wednesday. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another one of our live streams. Tyrone was saying naughty words, guys. There we go.
Oh.
Fixed. No worries. Bit of technical difficulties there. Anyway, welcome to the stream. Hopefully you guys are having a great day, great morning, great afternoon or evening, no matter where you are in the world. There's a lot to discuss. And of course, today we'll be going through our Forex side of things. We'll be going through the commodities. We'll be going through the indices and even some stocks as well. Ask your questions. That's the whole reason that this thing is around. It's for you guys, the community members in the private Discord, even the public guys. It's where we all mingle together in our secret little hangout. As I would like to say, as per usual, we do have, of course, a risk warning here. This is only to be considered general advice. You know, it's it's educational advice only, and we won't be giving any construed offers or anything like that throughout today's video. Tyrone, how have you been, man?
I would love to give offers. Wouldn't it be nice if we just lift the limit and say, yes, buy here, buy there with X amount? Don't worry, we've got some really, really important announcements today. We have found out we've got dates locked in, haven't we, Amanda? Amanda's here somewhere. We have got dates locked in for the conference, the inaugural FX Evolution Conference. It's a precursor to the Vegas conference, but which is hopefully going to happen in 22.
Oh,
but
that'd be cool.
21, last weekend of October, it's going to happen. We are going to be in Cairns, and we are going to party it up like there's no 22 coming. So we'll give you a few more details about that a little bit later on. But we finally got a date, so something to work towards. Thomas is going to start getting fit. He said he's going to have a beach bod.
Oh,
he's going to take people on
I never
fishing
said that
trips.
much. I definitely said I'll go on the fishing trip. Yeah. I didn't say that much about the beach bod side.
Yeah. No, it's going to be awesome, guys. But we'll talk about that a little bit later on. So hello to everybody who's joining us today. Thank you for tuning in. Let's jump into the markets. We've got some action going on, and we certainly want to duck straight into probably the Aussie. Can we have a look at the Aussie first?
Well, we can, Ty, but firstly, let's just quickly go over this dollar index to get a lie of the land. We've got to do the dollar index first. Come on, man.
All right. Sure.
All right, so we have here the 93.44 kind of resistance high. We obviously saw a massive closure for the weekly last week. Most of the people in the community be very well aware of what we feel about that. And it is a sign for bullish momentum, which meant, of course, weakness across the board, which is what Tyrone's about to allude to. Now, we look at this daily, and I say, I look at this and I think, it's weird. Like, right now, we have a rejection, and yeah, okay, we're still going bullish. And then at this stage, if it closed like this, another weird rejection, but still bullish, that would be strange to say the least. So what are your feelings about the old dollar index right now, Ty? Do you reckon this thing's going long or is it going short?
I'd say it's a very good chance it's going long. And it's going to take everything that we need with it. You know, it's been doing everything it needs to do basically for the last probably month, I reckon. I reckon it's been great trading the euro short. So, you know, I think we've targeted 93.50. I think that's the main target that we've got, or you've got it a little bit lower there. There's really no reason to think. It certainly hasn't given us any signs to change our minds on that. It's doing all the right things here, even on a 2-hour chart. And, yeah, really all those pullbacks to the 20, all of them trading opportunities on the flip side on the euro. It's doing everything we want it to do. Now, look, it needs to make a higher high here, of course, to continue the sequence. But I'm not going to be totally devastated if it fails to make a higher high here and then regaps at, basically picks up again and picks up momentum. It can't hold its formation all the way through. Even if it does that, that's not a problem. In fact, it's probably an even better trade.
Yeah.
So we're not going to see any issue there. But yeah, our main target is certainly has not changed. You only have to look at the daily to know, or even to think that the momentum is certainly with it. And really, really high chance that that's where it's heading, which is going to bring the euro down to the levels that we wanted to, of course.
Yeah, so we'll move through to the euro. So this is kind of the carbon copy. This is the one most people usually look to trade. Now, the thing about the euro is it's had this support on it, this what is this, 77. And we're actually rejecting a little bit past that. We've had a weak rejection. Obviously, it went up. Weak rejection went up, body. And now we're getting another potential rejection. Now, it's not closed yet, but I think that if we do close low, then it does open up the opportunity to take shorts off this level where you rally. I want to see a closure underneath this zone. Ty, your thoughts on that? I want the close.
Yeah, just like we need the break up on the dollar index, I think we need that close, below that level. Look, it's doing all the right things. I mean, it's provided awesome trading over the last few weeks. There's no question about that. But I don't think it ends here. I think it's got more in it, but we have to wait. We're a little bit more patient now. But you should be out of the trades that you're in anyway. I would have thought the last short off the 20 moving average, you should be well and truly out. The 1780 was the level. The 11780 was the level that you wanted to get to, which is pretty much where it is now. It's got more in it, but it just needs to prove itself a little bit more. Every time it does a move, it needs to prove itself just that little bit more. We're not trading all the way down to 117.20 on the one hit. We're looking at, basically multitude of trades going to the take. What you want to do is lock profit in at all times, right? So you want to take all these mini scalps, keep taking those 40 to 50 pip scalps, because in the end, when it pulls back and gives you another opportunity, you're getting an even better reason to get in. You're going to get in higher again, and you're going to make more pips. I can assure you, if you're scalping the thing all the way down, you're going to make more pips than having one trade at the top aiming for one particular level. It may end up with double. It happens quite often. And you're locking in profit all at the same time. So if it does eventually reverse, which they inevitably do, you've locked in so much profit, it doesn't really matter.
Let's quickly go over to the pound here. Another one that's kind of bottoming out at like, it looks like it's bottoming out anyway. If we have like a break of this resistance, we might go bullish. But again, these trends have been incredibly negative. I mean, look at the pound just getting absolutely destroyed. When we say if it goes bullish, what if it goes bullish up to here? Previous support becomes resistance. Definitely a zone that I'll be dialing in on this week, Ty. I'll be looking for lightning bolts off this section, this 136 kind of 80 zone. It's at 80. I love 80s. We've got a daily 200 above. And I'm not kidding you when I say I love the daily 200. And the reason why is because often when it is broken above or below, it signifies a much larger trend. Look over here. It breaks above. Yes, okay, it rejected. In this case, you didn't get the lightning bolt above. But when it comes back down, it finds support. It's usually a really, really good moving average for finding a level that just says, okay, we're really going short now. Look over here when it went short. Bang, bang, even way further. I mean, that's how aggressive currency can be when the trend's on. So I'll be looking for pullbacks back to this zone. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, same. Yeah, I think it's look, we've got the moving average cross. It happened quite a while ago. There's the 20 moving average proving to be the sell point again. I mean, far out. How good's that? Like that was a roll reversal, 20 moving average, and then you get the red C happening after that. What, 5 big red candles in a row? You really want to be, you want it to be part of that. I mean, I would have taken my profit at 136.80. That was a target. The 200 was it overshot. There's no question about that.
Yep.
The 200 was the target. Yeah, like that was. Yeah, exactly right. So it stands to reason it's probably going to pull back now and touch it from below. But again, like we'd be looking for that retest of that zone. And I think that provides a really good opportunity to go down again. I don't think it's done. Yeah, no, I don't think it's done.
Not especially if the dollar index keeps going. Speaking of the one you wanted to go to, Ty, the Aussie. Now, I just put this arbitrary kind of line here, but this thing got smoked. Wow, the Australian got destroyed over the last couple of weeks, and it's had some very strong shorting on it as our central bank policy here in Australia, our lockdown policy, those types of things, they're really taking a toll on the odd. And this has been good if you're investing in the US market because, of course, you may be stuck in those beautiful US dollars. And right now, they're looking better than the Aussie dollars, aren't they, Ty?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this has just been absolutely tanking. And yeah, and you know what? Look, it's not like we didn't know. We've been talking about it for weeks. I mean, far out. I reckon I've mentioned it about 5 times in the last 5 Friday wrap videos. And if anyone comes to Cairns to our conference and says technical analysis after the fact and it doesn't help you, I will drown you in the Cairns pool because this has given us so many signs that it was going down. You've got no reason not to have been involved in at least one of these swings. Ever since it broke that key zone up all those many weeks ago now, it's been just basically short. No need to long it. Short it off the 20. It's all you have to do. Any time frame you want. 1 hour, 4 hour daily. Take your pick. But look, this is overshot as well. Really, I mean, the target was at sort of low 73. It's broken. It's smashed way past that. I think it's probably going to correct itself a little bit more. I don't really know where it goes to from here, to be honest. 73 was my target. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's getting a little bit excessive now. It's probably going to find a new base around this sort of 72, 73 level. But I think all the fun's been had on the Aussie now. I think we probably need to leave it alone and maybe just let it consolidate a little bit, let it find its feet.
Yeah, and I agree with that. Like I hate this chart. 1 second. Let me just quickly get the right one up. Now, we talked about euro. We talked about pound odd. Let me just quickly bring up capital.com's one. There we go. And we spoke about how we had, these are the lines that we had up last time. So we obviously spoke about this closure above a few weeks ago. And this is definitely where, not only do you talking about the Aussie tie, we've been talking about this pound odd, we've been talking about the euro odd in that bullish sense since we broke out here and the different targets. Now, the reason I bring up pound odd straight away is because I saw a really interesting setup here, and that is a bazillion wicks. Look at these wicks, guys. It is rejection after rejection after rejection after rejection. Now, at some point, you guys know that I actually would love to see this go bullish. Because if we get like a nice big bullish daily candle like this and it takes out those previous wicks, you guys know what I feel about that. That is the firing zone. That's usually where you get that follow through. Over here, you get it against these three. You get some nice kind of upward trends. It may not look like there's huge profit here, but in the pound odd, that leads to some aggressive kind of action there. That's some good pips. If we get through this resistance, wowzers, if we get underneath this, back to the 20 for it. So there's going to be good trades here on the pound odd, I reckon, and the pound.
Yeah, good trades everywhere here. I think this is actually going to be, this will be a better trade than the Aussie itself now.
I think so. Yeah.
I think we need to shift our attention to the pound odd.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be definitely a better trade. So
same thing with the euro odd. Look at this. So much better. So much cleaner, so much more bullish. Great stuff here on the crosses against the Aussie. This is where the sequences seem to be a little bit better. And you've got these kind of like big rejections coming through across the board there. Question comes in here. Jay Nibble says, I've got to be honest, I think the easy money was already made on the upside. It's talking about the stock market since 2020. Only makes sense that it falls off a bit or goes up slower. Well, you're correct definitely about both those points. I mean, look, I'm getting more and more I see this market. And look, yesterday was definitely going to be a really good day from the bull side in the US market. It made sense. You had way too many things hitting support. But we can't ignore the bonds. We can't ignore the dollar index. We can't ignore certain things that are going on. Even the seasonals. The fact that, we've got Apple coming up. We've got the debt ceiling coming up, all these types of big things. So will there be a correction later on this year? I would be incredibly surprised if we don't get a 10% correction. And so would Tyrone. 10 to 15, maybe 8. That's the general. 8% is the general, and 10 to 15 is kind of like the more once a year. This can certainly occur. But to get an idea of the same amount of growth as happened over the last 12 months in the stock market since, of course, the March crash, it's not going to happen. To think that you're going to get that kind of growth again, that was the easy money. There's no doubt. It's now the grind. This is where trading comes in. This is not the just sit there, set and forget and buy Apple stock. Well, that's what people did. They just all bought Apple stock. And they're like, I'm the best. It's not that anymore, unfortunately.
Yep. I like it.
All right,
I like it. I like the idea of a pullback. Gives us more opportunities to go long.
And that's true as well. More opportunities to be optimistic in the markets, yeah? And I think that's where, something like actionable data comes in. We'll talk a little bit about that at the end of today's webinar. But yeah, look, let's just quickly go through here this US 500. Let's move away from the currencies. If you have currencies you want us to look at, chuck them in there. And let us know what ones you're looking at. If they've got good technicals on them, share them with the community. And by the way, if anyone out there has a good stock, a good commodity, a good currency that they're looking at, they think, damn, that looks like a good one, I want Tom and Ty to have a look at it, share it now, and we'll definitely look at it. I want it to be good, though. Needs to be good. Let's have a
well, you will be judged.
You will be judged. If it's crapper, I'm not going to be happy about it. No, the joke. Yeah, everything's good. So we have here 50 exponential. We know it bounced off that. Today, it's going to be, fighting with this 20. So on the real market, the SPX itself, it'll actually close just above the 20. So I have this tendency to believe we're going kind of like bullish here, Ty, for a little bit into maybe the Apple earnings into next week. I kind of feel it. That's more of a feeling than anything else. I mean, price action's up. We can't say that we're going bearish yet because we're not underneath our 50 exponential. But you know what? Tyrone would be celebrating, believe me. If it went peak, trough, lower peak, lower trough. Ty, if it gets through there, will you celebrate?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. I mean, that's the setup that we've been. If that happens before, look, ideally in a perfect world, that'll happen before my birthday, which is the 8th of August, because we know traditionally at FX Evolution, it's folklore that my birthday is a bloodbath on the market. It happens every single year. So if this is setting up on the 7th of August, look out. But that's what we're looking for, right? Like, we're looking for those clues. We want the weakness to happen. I mean, there's still probably a little bit more bullish movement that can happen without. You know what? I don't really want to see a higher high here. I think I'd probably be happy with an equal high. I think if price got up and made an equal high, I'd probably be happy with that. I think I'd be looking for shorts everywhere at that point there. If it made a slightly lower high, that'd be okay as well. But a double top around this level here would be very, very sexy. Make no mistake. Especially if it happened, sort of late
break double top.
Oh, now you're just talking dirty. Now,
only Tyrone and I can get excited about drawing a random candle like this and be like, oh yeah, that looks good.
Yeah. That would be awesome. I mean, because then we're getting the all the things that we're looking at, for a market to fall, and we know we're going into a traditionally weak time of the year. So ideally, we want the technicals to play that game. When technicals, fundamentals, and actionable trades all work together, it's a glorious. It's a symphony of greatness for trading. So that's what we want to see. In a perfect world, I don't want to see a market drop right from here. I don't want to see just a big red candle that goes and breaks the 50 in one hit now. I would rather probably a little bit more. What I don't want to see actually is another green one just as big either, by the way. It'd be nice if it kind of grinded its way up there for the next week and a half. Ground its way up there for the next week and a half, and then found a little bit of weakness around the top. That would be ideal trading conditions to really take advantage of that move.
Yeah, I feel like that IWM stat I was talking to you the other day about, Ty, which we're doing data processing on right now. It's a cool stat, and I kind of believe it. A lot of things are led by the Russell 2000. From the if the weakness is seen in the back end, especially the small financials, we've talked time and time about this. Now, Ty, you might have been watching the stream last night. I didn't talk to you about this one today, but we have, of course, NAB in Australia looking pretty weak, a financial. And I mean, look at this. Wowzers. That is one negative looking beast candle. Check that out. We got the full on JP Morgan head and shoulders here. And I can't stress how important it is to understand that if this thing ends up firing, I would say that pretty much most crashes begin with the financial stock.
Yeah. That is so going to play out. It's going to play out.
Educational.
This is an educational webinar, and please get your own financial advice. But that head and shoulders will play out. And what is the target on that one? I know you've drawn it there. What is the actual price target, Thomas?
So the price target here is about 128.92, which is of course the previous support. But I do think we're going to have a big problem, Ty, and that's the people don't quite understand that shorting the market is you got to be fast, you got to be nimble, you got to be like a beastly quick. And I guess if it fully plays out, hey, there's support there. It's proofing to that zone, which I think what you're about to say. But I also think I could see like this. Action. Something like that.
Yep.
It makes sense. Hit the 50, find buying support, move back up, look for a lightning bolt here, take the short off. I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
It's had a hell of a run. I mean, it is due for this pullback. And it'll come back bigger and stronger.
These banks are stupid. I mean, this thing's stupid, but I think that nothing quite beats my my car and Build-A-Bear and stuff. So, John Deere, ridiculous. The Build-A-Bear is the stupidest thing. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Dying business, back to life.
I love head and shoulders patterns, or any sort of pattern for that matter. At a time of the year where the seasonal would play out just nicely. So I think that's a really, really good sign for, I mean, NAB looks even more damning. There was a question earlier saying that if the SPX not make a new high, wouldn't that be bearish? Yeah, that's what AJ, that's what we're talking about, man. If it gets up there and makes an equal high or even a lower high, we're talking about the bearish side. That's what we want. So we want a bit of bullish movement now, but ideally in a perfect world, it'll only test the highs, it won't break them. And if we get that, then it should be happy days. So it is bearish is what we want.
A few people looking at Nike shorts. Look, I wouldn't probably bet against Nike just because it had a good earnings. I mean, the pattern itself actually looks relatively strong, and I guess, anything can happen, but this is a company that we need to go back into the past and say, okay, how did it actually compare? How did it go post the global financial crisis? And it absolutely went nuts. And I think that it's strongly positioned. Consumer discretionary is fairly strongly positioned at this stage. So while I'm sitting there rabbiting on about how John Deere and Avis and some of these other stocks are a bit stupid, I think that's because it's sugar rushes in high-end stuff. This is just, from what I've been seeing, Ty, there's slippers made by Kanye West that scalp. It's like people buy them and then sell these stupid slippers. They're like boats. And they sell them for like $600. They're so ugly, man.
Well, you own a pair of $700 Nike slippers.
No, not
So
Nike.
you're the one actually driving this up.
I only use the Gucci. All right. No, wait, I'm not the Gucci. Well, yeah, the Gucci. That's the one I always see the line. Yeah, no, these stupid Kanye sneakers. I'm telling you what, or Kanye flip flops or whatever they are. They're ridiculous. Someone will know what they're called. So yeah, Nike is a little bit tough at this stage. Still relatively bullish. You would want to see a bit of a turnaround. So like Tyron was mentioning before, it's all about peaks, troughs, lower peaks, lower troughs. We keep saying it because it just makes so much sense. That's when you see that weakness. That's when you start looking for your gap fill down to your 136.
Conscious, the double top that you're predicting is possible, but what time frame are you alluding to in particular on Nike? I know you're saying a double top you're predicting, but which one are you actually referring to?
It'd have to be this, Ty.
You're talking about the 2 hour? Yep.
Yeah, it would have to be something like this. Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but you are predicting. Yeah. Don't try to predict the double top. Try to be the person that's around here. Now, if you're like, really wanting to get in early, if you saw something like this, you could possibly short here, but you got to be super careful, and that's really where you should be. Executing on your position. Let's move over to a few of these other questions here, Ty. We've got here US dollar yen as a position that people.
Also, the New Zealand USD has apparently got a descending triangle that we're going to have a look at as well, which is good. Okay. And Ray, he hasn't even asked. I think he just expects now. Ray, yes, of course we will do it for you. You don't have to worry about it. I've penciled it in. The China market will be on the chart shortly.
Yeah, we'll do the China market. Actually, I quite like the way it's looking. Yep. It's coming back. It's coming back gloriously. I don't know my opinion on this really. You're the yen master at the moment. Do you have an opinion on US dollar yen? I'm going to go with I have no opinion whatsoever.
Yeah, I've got no view on this one at the moment. It's not really behaving as it should with the dollar index. It's not really behaving itself as it was. It's given us some fun times, but sometimes you've got to let it go for a little bit. And I think until now, it needs to break out of this little mini zone. It's kind of got itself trapped a little bit. So for me, it needs to do a little bit more work before it starts grinding higher. I think longer term, it's probably going to get up there again. It has broken that trend line, as you can see there. But I still don't totally trust it.
I only find really one reason. I think that's the big problem.
Yeah. There's not quite enough reasons. Yeah, it's not quite enough reasons.
All right, let's look through some other requests here, and then we'll talk about some of the ones that we're looking at again in the stock world. Odd CAD 15-minute is actually looking pretty short there. Let's have a look. All the odds will be down, but they're all coming into kind of like supporty lines. Oh, yeah. I tell you what, look at that 1 hour. Wow, that's a lot of rejections. So you've got rejection, long leg doji. I think like literally a close above here, Ty, is probably going to signal pressure into that 92.90 for the scalp kind of day trade. Yes, it's a counter trend, not really the recommended style of looking at stuff. Let's have a look at the 15-minute. Yeah, that would make sense as well. New peak. Yeah. But still, it's countery. Be careful with the counter. Never take the counter unless you've done it a fair bit. But yeah, that's the way we'd be looking at it. mRNA looks good. Moderna. Yeah, so you're probably not 100% sure on this one. Look, it's been included in, of course, I think it's the SP500. You've got earnings coming up. It's had a big run on it. I'm done with Moderna. I think that it had a great run. It's hyper extended away from moving averages, such as the daily here. Look how far away it's got. That doesn't make me feel good. And look at the volume into this thing. Jeez, that's big volume. I say this is over. That's from my opinion. Too much volume, too fast hyperextension on a massive stock. Things worth $123 billion right now. And Ty, if we go back and have a look, this stock was literally in February 2020 worth $20, and it's now worth $307. And I understand there's a lot of reasons why, but that terrifies me. What are your thoughts, Ty? It's known for the pumpy dumpy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to
Pumpy
trade,
dumpy.
isn't it? Really,
Pumpy dumpy.
Very hard to trade.
Oh, look, I love it over here. Double bottom over here on the smaller time frame.
Right now, it's difficult to read now. It is a difficult one now.
And everyone's looking at it. Remember, I don't like... Tyrone and I are not big fans of when you go to a website and you type it in. You know what was the most popular one on the websites I was checking the other day? It was Barber. Literally, Barber was searched the most, and then it crashed. It's like clockwork. What everyone's doing, you don't want to be doing. And we'll be talking about actually a way of kind of finding maybe better trades in the future that other people might not be quite looking at. Let's quickly scroll through some more here. May says, are they Yeezys? Yes. Super Chat Gucci's. Truly Messiah. Hey, you give me enough super chats, I'll buy the Gucci's. I'll buy the Gucci Sunnies or something. Ray Lim, Tom, what do you think about the semiconductor ETF SMH? All right, let's have a look at that. VanEck Semiconductor Index. Yeah, so I was pretty bullish on it over here with the breakout. Obviously, it has not been a beautiful thing since then. We've had all sorts of semiconductor problems. Not much, I guess. I mean, I chose to go with the QCOM route here in semiconductors, I guess, partially luckily. Where's old QCOM this morning? So it went at 139. The main reason I targeted that was because I liked the trade on it. And I still like it. I think it's held up okay through this whole, war zone of all of the markets getting crunched and everything like that. You can see those little bullish hammers. I don't think much about the semiconductor index right now unless it breaks new high. Ty, I think you're going to be similar. It's not something that excites me, so we won't focus on too much. Does JP Morgan look bearish? Yes, if it closes below. Can we have a look at oil? Oh, yeah, we can. And today is okay to look at oil because it came down to the magical zone, Ty.
The magical zone.
Look at that, man. Damn. We knew that oil was going to suck. But I believe, long leg doji, that if we get a closure above here, oil could have some interesting bullish action to the $70. Your thoughts? I like it.
You know what I like about what we do?
What?
Just whether it's a webinar, whether it's a live. Yes, I know all the signs say that we don't give personal advice and blah, blah, blah. But by God, we give warnings. And I mean, we were talking about oil not going long without saying oil wasn't going long, right? So realistically, I know there were people still talking about oil going long when it was up at the 77 saying, here we go. I know we didn't come out and say, you know what, trade with caution. You've really got to be careful here. But we said it without saying it, right? I reckon half a dozen times. So hopefully people heeded that warning because it was giving so many signs that it wasn't going to happen. Yeah. And look, and also, I mean, look at you've got the lower high. I mean, look at the lower high that was formed. Look at it.
Yeah.
But that is a sign that, this is going to struggle. And once it makes that lower low, boy, oh boy, that's the lightning bolt.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yep.
So people look at that long leg doji and they say, oh, well, how do you trade that? You can't trade that. Like that just happened. No, it didn't. That was happening over, many, many days.
Mm-hmm.
And realistically, we didn't tell you, don't long it. You better short it right here. Boy, oh boy, in no uncertain terms, we kind of did. And a lot of things are setting up that way. That's why I think you've got all of what we do, we love it because we're really, I know a lot of people are really, starting to, think like us. We can see it in the Discord rooms. And that's awesome because you're starting to read what price action is telling you. Don't worry about what Tom and Ty are saying. At the end of the day, we're only looking at the market. We're not predicting with a crystal ball what's going to happen. We're using price action to determine what we think is going to happen and what is likely to happen. And that's happening between buyers and sellers, losing and gaining momentum. And that's exactly what happened with oil. And it happened with gold. It happens with everything. So realistically, pay attention to the price action. It's the most important thing, especially at those key levels. Mm-hmm. Now, yes, it found itself at support here. No question about that. Can it rally? Yes. Do we really need to take it long here? I think we just wait, don't we? Like, we've got to wait for it to break that zone.
Yeah, the daily is definitely looking towards, let's get a closure above the long leg doji and then feel more confident about taking it long.
Yeah, you got to wait now. Like, you don't want to be, you don't want to be just jumping in. It's there, and yes, it can go long back to the 70.
Yep.
But don't go rushing with this one. Like, just let it play out a little bit. That's a big fall.
It certainly is. We've got some other requests coming in for the cryptocurrencies, Ty. Everything mission critical right now on Bitcoin. One of my ICOs launched the other day. Thank you very much, TAC. Big shout out. Help me out there with that one. I was boomering up. It was like 2 a.m. in the morning. Believe me, it was boomer. You would be like, I was like, the technology of the future is certainly incredibly hard to use. I struggled so hard using the crypto. I'm telling you, it was ridiculous. The instructions didn't make sense. I didn't know what was going on. But anyway, the crypto.
Tom gets a tip to make money. I get stuck answering all the questions in the Q&A rooms, and Tom just sits there making money on the side. With all the members giving him their wallets and jeez.
Well, they didn't give me any wallets. Oh, if you would like to, you can send me Bitcoin to Tom at the number. Now, let's have a look here at ADA though. In all seriousness, BTC is trying its very best, and I still think proceed with caution. There was quite a lot of, there's all this fanfare going on in the crypto markets right now. Obviously, I believe when Yellen talks, it does matter because realistically, they're all interconnected. Remember, she was head of the Fed. I don't understand how she's doing what she's doing now. But anyway, it is what it is. And she basically has been talking about it. Obviously, Jerome's been talking about it. When they talk about it, it will happen. I mean, the Eurozone's talking about it. I see it as a net positive long term. If you're wondering whether this was support, though, for ADA, yes, it is. And in terms of whether it's bouncing, well, you've got a little lightning bolt here for the first time in a while, but has done it before and failed. What I'm probably looking at, and Tyron would be as well, is this breach being significant. But do I like it enough? Oh man, not really. I mean, if you're investing and you think, oh, I love this coin, is it cheap? Then it's cheaper than it has been. Bitcoin though, you go over to that. It was actually a pretty good consolidation down here. So there's probably some scalps you could have taken off this. Let's go for the 5 minute here. That's a lot of consolidation. Jeez, that's a big candle. Yeah, tough trading out there in the crypto. Tough.
Yeah.
Too tough.
I mean, it's made. Yeah, like that's a big rally. That's a big rally in a very short space of time, isn't it?
That's what they does though. The thing is, it's so tough quick and it's super tough right now. It's not giving Tyron and I beautiful patterns like it was when Ethereum and Bitcoin do the right thing. You get beautiful double bottoms, you get beautiful consolidations, you get beautiful head and shoulders. Right now, it's ugly. It's ugly. Let's go over to the Shanghai comp, Ty. This is,
and then we must do New Zealand USD. Okay, Dannyism is getting cranky. He's getting cranky. He's typed it in 3 times by my count, so he's getting cranky.
Sorry,
so
Danny.
We're definitely we'll get it to
make sure to like the video, Danny. Don't dislike it, right? Let's have a look over here. Let's do the Shanghai comp. I actually quite like this. I mean, I've talked about it for a while. You guys know I'm looking at the 3650 from a technical perspective, a big breakout, but it is in the channel. And once it breaches, next level is 3620. So there's some bullishness coming back into the market here in the Chinese market. Big supports held every time, which is nice. Right at the resistance. Let's see how it holds up through the next session. When you're talking about the top end though, the reason why I say I'm looking at that high end style is I want to see it break through and close a weekly above this one over here. So about 36.50, I would love to have like a 37 because when the Chinese market fires, and it is quite low, I feel at the moment, it gets feisty. Look how much boomtown it had. When it's bad, it's bad. But when it boomtowns, wow, no market quite goes like these markets. That is like, whoo, damn. Actually, how many percent was that? Let me have a look here. Can you imagine if you bought the top? This is when indices go wrong, Ty. That's an indice gone wrong. You never got your money back. Terrible stuff. New Zealand, US dollar. All right, let's do it. New Zealand, US dollar. Oh, not bad, actually. Weekly looks awesome. This is actually holding up a lot better than the odd.
Yeah,
I
it
hadn't
is.
looked at
Yeah,
this.
it is.
This is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think, Ty?
Let's go to the what time
Oh,
frame did descending? He said there's a descending triangle short. Let's find his time frame.
I can only imagine it's based on this. And then, even though I don't quite get it, let's have a look at the 2 hours.
Might be. He might have been talking about a break. He might
Well,
have
no,
been talking about
I
a
get.
break,
I think I get the descending. Like, basically, it's going through this, but the problem is you got this kind of outlier. Maybe there's a time frame where it didn't. Man, I think it's the daily. And he's just
breakdown.
drawing
He said it is a breakdown. Yeah, that's the one he's got. He's talking
Yeah.
about the breakdown of it. Yep, got
Yeah,
ya.
I think it's
Yep.
daily. Yeah.
Yep.
Look, it looks really good. I'm
Does look
wondering
really good.
whether it's a
Yeah.
false break. How many days are we on Wednesday right now? So we've got Thursday, Friday trade. Oh, I really,
Interesting.
really
Yeah.
want the weekly close. I think I want the
Yeah.
weekly close.
Yep.
I feel bad. I don't know what it is. I've seen a lot of charts in my life, and there's something that smells evil about this chart. I don't know what it is. I think it's just the fact that the daily didn't quite get under by enough close, and we've got a lot of other currencies. New Zealand, odd, Euro, pound. They're all kind of recovering, aren't they, Ty? There's something bad about this, but I love the weekly close below. Oh yeah.
It needs a weekly. I agree. I think it needs to
Yeah.
have just a little bit more evidence. I think.
Are we sniffing it out? I feel like we are.
Yep.
Yeah. God, it's good though if it closes the weekly. Because what that will do is it'll really signal that firstly, the dollar index has solidified its position of strength. The New Zealand has not weakened anywhere near as much as the odd has. And there's a clear profit weekly 200. There's a clear level. So for me, it just kind of has something creepy about it. And I can't exactly put my spidey senses on what it is, but whenever I see these setups and I consider what we've just done, and I even come and look at this 2 hour, right now we've got a trough, peak, higher trough, kind of higher peak. Yeah, we need more.
It's a confirmation. We just need evidence.
Yeah.
And you know what? If the evidence plays out and it gets there, like you're gonna have a massive move. So there's no worries.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the good thing about it.
Yeah, I totally agree. Look, there's some cool stuff there. Let's just quickly go through a few stocks here, Ty. So the all-important stocks, which ones we're setting up pretty well. We talked about how money was coming back into kind of like the pandemic-style stocks. AMC had some big trades on it. For people that don't know, I can't show you right now, but if you're a member of the private community, remember, check out the large equity prints that are now in there, the AI that puts them through. Check out the options trades. We saw some monster AMC options yesterday. Let's just have a quick look. So we've got QCOM that I think followed pretty nicely yesterday. So we had the daily rejection off the 50. That's actually been usually signaled by further bullish pressure. So I would be looking at this, and maybe if QCOM can get up there today, a little bit of momentum through this point, Ty. What are your thoughts on that creating a slingshot based on what we've seen? A little bit of extra volume. Do you like that?
Yeah, I think if we get the close above that.
Close, or do you reckon through the session?
Oh,
I know you love the close. It's obviously more risky if you take the through the session type trade.
I mean, I think it depends on what you're trying to achieve. I mean, if you get a close of it, on the daily is going to be far more, meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
If you get it.
Agreed.
But if you're trading it, and you're trying to get out in and out quickly, and I guess a break. However short.
A break could slingshot. Eka, who's a bit of a beast at the moment, been coming through with the good ones. This was Square yesterday. Boy, oh boy, did he had a sick day. He went crazy. But yeah, Eka was talking about this bullish one, and this had a similar follow-through action on it, where it went too far low. I mean, that would have taken out so many people's stops. Can you imagine how many people had stops here? They got slaughtered, fully reversal. The market's, it's brutal. It's brutal. What other ones do I have here that I've been looking at today? Snowflake, old Snow, getting back above. That's, I think, a good sign for it. We'll see whether it can continue through. Snowflake's also one of those kind of pandemic style plays that did very, very well. We've got the old CRISPR is just in the middle of nowhere, so I wouldn't touch that with 10-foot barge pole, even though I love CRISPR. Starbucks, this was one that was bought in by the community. That was a great bounce by So it went, made a new high, came down, gapped, and then just bang, bounced by. AMD, this one had a interesting kind of pullback yesterday. So if you think about this, daily bullish, daily rejection followed by bullish. I'm looking for it to follow through above that 20. I think you'll like this one a lot more, Ty. Above 88, you've got support, you've got resistance. You get a little closure above here. Could be a very nice move. Do be warned though, not only is earnings coming up for this, we've got Intel earnings coming up. So will AMD steal more of Intel's share? I tend to believe yes. But yeah, this is, what do you think of the close above 88?
I would like a close above 88. I think it opened. I mean, look, I look at that at the moment, and I don't see a long. Not at all. It has to do the job. I wouldn't even be touching that unless it closed above 88.
I wouldn't. I mean, I think, yeah, round.
I mean, that's a daily lightning bolt at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't, as much as I don't really want to see AMD. Look at this lightning bolt in the 4 hour.
Yeah, I think there's some very interesting positions.
I think you got to be careful. I think it's one of those ones where you want to be careful on it. But if you get a close above 88, you're going to get, at least it's going to break that rut.
Yeah,
you could do it.
Tend to agree with that. What about this one? Now, this is interesting. So this was another one printing massive calls, Ty. So there were big calls being purchased by some nasty Wall Street creature. And I do call them that. And they were sipping the piccolo while they were buying Amazon on their smartphone. And they basically had a huge amount of calls. I think said about 3650 or something like that, and 3600. I don't mind this. Like, if you're going with which one is at a roll reversal with a bullish hammer, is this your pick so far? Is this the best that we've seen? The best of the bunch?
Yeah. I mean, a 3600 call makes sense. I mean, it does, right? They would have got it a little bit cheaper because it's out of the money. It makes a lot. It's a roll reversal zone with it makes sense. I mean, this is going to make a lot more sense to everyone when you actually do the options course. But you'll know why selling an out of the money call like that off a roll reversal zone is so beneficial, because you can really double up and sometimes triple up on your contract size because you're paying less for it because it's out of the money, but you got an absolute direction of where it's going, and its potential is well above the what the call premium is going to cost you. So quite a profitable trade. I like it.
Yeah, I don't mind the follow through here. We get the follow through 3600 plus starts coming in,
and then bang off
those
it goes,
bought calls that were put in. We're basically going to see some potential slingshot here from Amazon. I mean, this is probably the one that's coming off some of the better support. If we go over to Roku, which is something that we've also got here as a question, this is coming in from JT Raj, says Roku also looks good. Yeah, it does. Absolutely. It's down this morning, but it's another one of those stocks that's pulled back after an initial impulse move. It's still got a decent amount of volume on it. Like, not like man, that was good consolidate. Wow, there's some great volume down there. All this sick volume. There was clearly someone accumulating, probably Kathy Wood. But yeah, she buys these stocks. She loves these stocks. But resistance, support. I must say, I've never used the Roku device. Have you, Ty? You ever used the Roku?
No. Oh, yes.
Have you? Do you like the Roku?
The Telstra TV is a Roku.
Really?
Yeah, it's powered by Roku. Every time you load up the Telstra TV, it's powered by Roku.
Is it good?
It is. It's solid.
So it's
solid. Crap. No, that's solid. It's solid.
He would say it's excellent. He loves it if it was good. It's crap. that's what I'm hearing. Solid equals crap. What's the Google Home like, Ty? Do you like the Google Home?
Yes. I love
is that solid or is it good?
That's good. That's actually good.
See, I would say the Google Home listens to you, and I don't like it.
I'll tell you why. You know why I like the Google. I like the Google Home. There's a few reasons why I like the Google Home, but sometimes I call home and no one answers because the kids have got the TV up too loud, or the PlayStation's too loud, or they put their phone somewhere where they're not in earshot. Mm-hmm. So I get wherever I am in the world, which is always in Ocean Grove. So it's not that exotic, but it's always in Ocean Grove. But what I do, if no one answers their phone, I actually send a broadcast from my phone every Google device in the house,
What, you spam?
demanding that the person I'm trying to call pick up the phone. And it's amazing because every single Google device in the house, of which there is many,
Yeah.
broadcast my voice saying, "Answer your damn phone," and within a second, someone's dialing me back. So I'm going to say that's good, way better than the Roku.
And then 5 minutes later, you're being advertised to. Please buy this. Buy more Google Homes.
But you know what? I will fill everybody in for everybody that wasn't at the Pepperstone webinar. Our conference has got dates. We have got dates for the conference. It's the last weekend of October. If you want to join Thomas on a fishing trip, a fishing expedition that apparently he's going to lead. Apparently, are you going for black marlin or something? What are you doing? Are you going for something exotic? I'm sure. It's going to be in Cairns.
I'm cool with just catching some coral trout, and I'll eat one.
It's going to be in Cairns. So that's one of the it's one of the most beautiful places in Australia, really. But I know it's going to be a bit hard for overseas people to get there, of course. But for all of you Australian folk who are looking to get away from a potential lockdown that you might be in or what have you, it's going to be 2 days of learning with us. We're going to have a guest speaker or two. We're going to have a lot of fun over those couple of days, but it is going to be extended by about 2 or 3 days after that for people who want to stay on and do fun activities. Tom's going to go fishing. I'm going to go hiking or drinking by the pool or something. I'm not sure. We'll see. But it's going to be fun regardless. So hiking. This in the
forest with those drop bears and random spiders.
So many. Yeah,
there's scary spiders up there, Dave. You better watch out.
I'll show you how the drop bears work. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we are going to. I know Amanda's going to put out an announcement very, very shortly to try and get some firm numbers of how many people are going to attend. I know there's a few people already in Far North Queensland that are members. I fully expect that you will be there. Better be. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so we're going to get you all the details that you need very, very shortly. But keep in, definitely keep an eye on Q&A. Amanda will make some announcements on Q&A tomorrow night. It's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun, in all seriousness. And it's going to be a learning experience. We'll be able to do these things live. We'll be able to chat with people. It's going to be really cool.
I think it's going to be a great event. Let's just quickly pull back here with this Roku. I actually quite like where it's opening as well, Ty. Pending the rest of the market, rallies. Obviously, we've got some downness in the Nasdaq here. This is the right kind of zone. We've got support, resistance, 50, 20 coming up. Little lightning bolt, small kind of time frame, 1 minute, 5 minute. Could be some options there to have a look at. The response basically will... Oh, yeah, I've just got a question here about what we said about the New Zealand US dollar. So we said that we were looking for a weekly close below for it to show the strength towards the downside. So if you're in the long side, you could be saved by that small lightning bolt in the 2 hour. Go check that out. It's maybe going to break high. And then if it does, you should hopefully, because we were sensing some weirdness there. I don't think it was going short just yet. What else have we got here?
Amanda sent you something in Discord, Thomas, that she wants you to broadcast. You got a second? If you can do that. Can you bring it in?
Well, I can, but I'll have to just turn us off. 1 second.
Okay. It's going to be... so don't forget, tomorrow night, Q&A for everybody who is here.
Wait, so there's a video link?
Apparently. Can't wait to see it.
So I'm going to broadcast this. Oh, we just got demonetized. That's a real song.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I don't even hear the sound.
Yeah. Oh, actually, maybe not. Only 7 second route. No, we're not monetized.
I think so. From my take on this, Thomas is playing his PlayStation. Amanda's doing a dance.
Tom, do you want to know where we are flying to for the conference?
What is this?
I'm wearing a tie.
Yeah.
Don't know about that.
He surely is busy.
Thomas is getting his free coffees from his super chats.
Look at Tyrone.
Which one of you is going to make the big announcement?
That looks straight up. That looks exactly like I look after a Tuesday market watch. It's going well.
Team, we are holding the conference.
That's very good, Amanda.
Do they have
You
coffee
have done
there?
well.
You know I love fresh coffee.
Tom, I can assure you where we are going has fresh coffee farms. Yes, Tom, fresh coffee farms.
Fresh coffee farms.
Hey, that's my dog.
Is that your dog?
Yes, that's Rio.
That's pretty good. I like that. Fresh Coffee Farms, so-called claim. Thank you very much, Amanda. That was actually pretty excellent. All right. What I would say is it's going to be the best place to be at, and I'm looking forward to seeing the Fresh Coffee Farms. What else is there in the markets right now? I would probably say, look, stay nimble, stay quick. The markets themselves can very easily go bearish here. Lower peaks, lower trough. Of course, we really feel like the bears have taken full control. S&P 500, Russell.
We've got to be careful.
These are the ones you got to be careful right now, guys. There's too many stats showing bearishness action is incoming. So be fast, be nimble, and I guess from our opinion anyway, and my opinion in general, it's not the time that I'd be pulling the trigger on everything. You know, I wouldn't be doing that. All right, guys. No. Thank you so much. Tyrone, anything else that we want to announce?
Tomorrow night is open Slaveron Q&A, live Q&A tomorrow night for the public. I'll put the link in, no worries. And the most important thing of the week, Friday night drinks with Tom. Let me tell you, I am on his YouTube live channel. We are going to be doing the US Open.
Coming. Yeah.
We're doing the US Open live with beer and cannot wait to get in. I reckon we might see a bit of action before then. I'm not so sure the market's just going to be hanging around here. I reckon we might see some up and down action before then. So we're going to have plenty to talk about. So I can't really, that's going to be really, really good. So yeah, tomorrow night, public Q&A, Friday night, I'll be joining Tom with beer on the US Open. So looking forward to all of that. Thank you so much for joining us, taking the time to come to our webinar. The replay will be out for everybody who's registered, of course, very, very shortly, and it'll be in the Discord room and in the content if you missed any part of it, if you want to recap on it. So thanks very much. And yes, we will see you in the lives very shortly.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much. I'll see everyone else as well that wants to join us in about 40 minutes. We'll be going live for the 1 hour before the New York Open. And yes, we will cover Tesla and others in that. Lots to do, lots to cover. Be nimble, be quick, guys. And we'll see you very, very